Simon Robert Armitage is an English poet, playwright, and musician and novelist who was born on the 26th of May 1963 in Huddersfield, United Kingdom. He is most famous for writing poems such as Remains, which is a very powerful poem. Simon Armitage is an English poet who has gained over 30 years' experience with the poetry area of writing. Up until the year 1994, Simon worked as a probation officer in Manchester, which helped him to write one of his most famous poems, I Am Very Bothered. The poems I will be discussing today are Mother, Any Distance and Killing Time. The first of Simon Armitage's poems that will be discussed today is Mother, Any Distance. This poem is featured on the 2015 Past and Present Poetry Anthology created by Andrew Waterhouse. It discusses the topic of a mother and son relationship where she's helping him set up his brand new house and assisting him in measuring carpets and curtains, which helps to draw the conclusion this is his first time moving out. This poem relates to me because the way the mother acts in this reminds me very much of how my mother is. She's having a very hard time watching her son move out and take his next steps in life, and my mum has expressed how she will have very similar emotions to these when I'm taking steps to move out. It also relates to me in the sense that I'll soon be the son taking steps to move out and having to let go of my mother's help like he is. In this poem, Mother, Any Distance, written by Armitage, he uses a wide range of different writing techniques to explore a relationship between a child and his mother as he takes a step forward in his independence. This poem is written in a loosely structured sonnet form, which helps to reflect upon both the deep connection and the tension of separation between a mother and her child. Armitage does an amazing job at utilising extended metaphors, especially when he discusses the spool of tape recording length, which helps to symbolise to the listener the physical and emotional bond between a mother and her son, one that doesn't break. The distance measured in feet and inches develops into a metaphor for the emotional gap that is brewing between them as the son begins to take steps into adulthood. The tone shifts from dependence to a sound of uncertainty and finally to the possibility of freedom, which is suggested by the final line, to fall or fly. Simon Armitage uses irregular rhyme to help the listener to understand the emotional fluctuations occurring. Themes of independence, family love, and fear of detachment and personal growth run throughout the poem. The second of Simon Armitage's poems that will be discussed and compared is Killing Time. This poem is a longer poem which was created for the United Kingdom's millennial celebrations, which utilises metaphors and the media's language to investigate important events in 1999, which include the Colombian high school shooting. Armitage uses various techniques to discuss the Colombian massacre and the media-constructed nature of news surrounding society and gun culture. This poem mixes real-life issues with powerful metaphors which reflect a public role and a desire to provoke thought on serious issues throughout potent imagery and layered meaning. The poem Killing Time, created by Simon Armitage, looks into the themes of mortality, the passage of time, and this world's struggle to find meaning in life. The poem begins to reflect upon the idea of killing time, which is an unstoppable, invisible force which is unable to be truly controlled or destroyed. Throughout the poem, Armitage uses questionable and straightforward language which makes for complex ideas surrounding engagement for readers. The poem has a very free-flowing writing structure, including enjambment which creates for a continuous unbroken rhyme which is similar to the unstoppable movement of time. While it does occasionally pause and slow down the pace, which allows for moments of reflection. The metaphor of killing time humanises time as an adversary, which highlights the conflict between a human's desire to control life and the inevitability of death. Repetition is used effectively to help listeners emphasise the nature of how people measure and waste time. Armitage's tone helps to balance irony and contemplation, while the poem conveys a powerful message about trying to escape time effects and the importance of living consciously in the present. The poem also uses imagery such as, now I am dry bones on my face, a stony scale staring in yellow surprise at the sun. This helps to despite the aftermath of the dissipated violence. The poem Mother, Any Distance and Killing Time, both written by Simon Armitage, explore the passage of time and look into human connection through the use of vivid imagery and a reflective form of time. Both poems use extended metaphors. Mother, Any Distance uses the reference to the tape measure to help symbolise the bond between a mother and her child, while the poem Killing Time uses time as a destructive and almost violent force. Armitage uses enjambment and irregular structure in both poems to mirror emotional uncertainty and tension. Themes of separation, impact of time, and human vulnerability overlap. Both poems also utilise striking contrasts such as hope versus destruction, connection versus freedom, which highlights Armitage's exploration into personal and societal experiences. Both Mother Any Distance and Killing Time, written by Samuel Armitage, are outstanding pieces of work that discuss various real-world topics and the experience that he has going on with his personal life and his mind. Both poems have lots of different writing techniques and themes, and are both able to be broken down to highlight these various things.